Hey everyone, this is Byron once again. I'm here to testify for Jesus Christ. I want to go over another video or do another video. Last night the Lord woke me twice to show me a particular thing He wanted me to focus on, and then finally the last time to show me I have to communicate. So 3 times in the night wanted me to communicate this particular information right here. This past Friday at 5:50, the police chief of Decatur, Alabama, made a statement involving, or a statement related to the Steve Perkins investigation. I've got this statement broken up over, I think it's 7 slides. I'm only going to cover the first 2 slides that I have, but I'm going to play each slide for 5 seconds following a presentation on the first 2. You can mash pause and read the whole statement that the Decatur Police Chief Todd Pinion released Friday, November the 17th, 2023. Then I'm going to show you that approximately 4 hours later, what this statement had grown to. And I'm going to take you to the word conjecture and tell you there's people making things up or building things into this statement that are going to be false. I'm going to show you a few of these. Then I'm going to talk to you and caution you about relying on conjecture or misinformation to form your opinion. This is I got this this post here from Facebook, and I copied it verbatim. I pasted it in here. Again, it takes 7 pages to do so. I've taken 1 sentence and given it a single page, so it really took 6 pages. But anyway, this says Decatur Police Department, Alabama, 11/17/2023 at 5:50 p.m. A message from Chief Todd Pinion. The internal investigation by the Decatur Police Department's Office of Professional Standards into the death of Stephen Perkins is complete. On Thursday, I met with the involved officer concerning the report, reviewed the findings, and gave them an opportunity to be heard before I made a decision. I found reason to believe that policies were violated, and the final report and findings were sent to the legal department and outside counsel late this afternoon to prepare the formal documents to move forward the discipline process. That's page 1. Now I want to bring your attention to the 1 sentence in the whole statement that's made that I want to draw your attention to, because if you focus on this 1 sentence, you're going to see pretty much all that Chief Todd Pinion told you about policies and which policies were violated, etc. He said, I found reason to believe that policies were violated, and the final report and findings were sent to the legal department and outside counsel late this afternoon to prepare the formal documents to move forward with the discipline process. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to read it. Like I said, I'm going to pause 5 seconds on each of the slides that's coming up. You can hit pause as you play this and read the remainder of the statement. However, I do not believe, or I have not seen where Chief Pinion states what policies were violated and at what point during the process were the policies violated. Okay, so here's your 5 seconds per the remaining slides. Now I want to remind you of a word called conjecture. And used as a noun, it is an opinion or conclusion formed on the basis of incomplete information. And as a verb, it's to form or form an opinion or a supposition about something on the basis of incomplete information. So in both cases, both usages of the word is incomplete information. Now I'm going to play you the news at 10 from Channel 48 or WAFF in Huntsville, Alabama, and see if they have added to Chief Pinion's statement any.
Hey! That's the moment Decatur police officers opened fire on a homeowner, killing him in his own front yard. Now confirmed, that action violated police protocols and procedures. Now confirmed, that action violated police protocols and procedures.
Chief Todd Pinion stated policies were violated, but he didn't say what action violated a policy, nor did he tell you what policies had been violated. But 4 hours later, someone has conjectured that that action violated police protocols and procedures. And what action are they saying violated the protocols and procedures?
The moment Decatur police officers opened fire on a homeowner, killing him in his own front yard.
So 4 hours and some odd minutes, WAFF 48 News in Huntsville, Alabama, stated that Chief Todd Pinion had said, the moment Decatur police officers opened fire on a homeowner, killing him in his front yard, is the action that Chief Todd Pinion stated was a violation of protocols and procedures, as they stated, but Chief Pinion said policies. So I just want you to see how quickly a story can change. Let's say, for example, WAFF 48 News in Huntsville, Alabama, end up being right. As of this moment, as of the moment this was aired, the only thing they had to go on was Chief Pinion's statement that he believed policies had been violated. They didn't know which policy was violated. They didn't know what action it was that violated a policy, but they went ahead and made this statement. So let's assume you formed your opinion based on what WAFF stated.
He said that policies and procedures were broken. We told him that, and the rest of the councilmen, that the Monday after Steve's murder, the first council meeting, we told them what policies and procedures were broken. We already knew that.
So a person that hasn't been involved in the investigation stated policies and procedures were broken before. And you got to wonder, well, what policies and procedures are they speaking of? And if they're speaking of the incident in the front yard where the shooting actually took place, or when the shooting actually took place, it's only conjecture at this time because you haven't read Chief's report. I mean, you maybe have read his statement, but you haven't read a full report to know what policies he's talking about. The same night, the demonstrators went on to demonstrate. This is just a picture of them. I think this is at the Brick Deli where they're yelling through the window at the Brick Deli and use a megaphone there. And then there was an incident just following that. There was an incident where someone broke glass to a cigar shop, I believe, and here's how that looks on the news.
Well, someone smashed the window of a local cigar shop and took off. Protesters immediately questioned the masked figure and tried to run them down until
he pulled the gun.
Okay, so that particular event ended, or I don't know that it ended there, but it did involve some type of vandalism, and the vandalism was done by someone, male or female, with a hammer. And that someone, we don't know if they were acting on the opposition side of the house, or perhaps were even part of the protester side, but doing this to make the protest more severe or more, what you would say. So any ideas formed on that, or any opinions formed on that, would be formed based on what I've been calling conjecture, and what's called conjecture in the courtroom. So imagine that you fast forward a week or two, a couple of days or whatever, until Mayor Tab Bolin gets Chief Pinion's report. And it's Mayor Tab Bolin's responsibility to take Chief Pinion's report and then determine how he's going to act on it. Because Chief Pinion has elevated it to the mayor's position, or elevated, I believe it's going to be elevated to the mayor. Because of that, the mayor will do some type of action, either review it and let it drop or take action. But the mayor is going to take action based on the policy that the chief of police, Todd Pinion, stated had been broken. He's not going to take action on a policy that perhaps somebody imagined he was going to use. He's not going to take action on the event that somebody imagined he would take action on. He's going to take action on the actual policy and actions probably that occurred to violate the policy that he was speaking of in his report that he did not identify to anyone as of now. So if the mayor takes an action and it's on a policy that someone doesn't anticipate, that person could be aggravated and decide to go and do some type of protesting type action that could lead to a more violent situation. And as violence escalates, no matter what it is, the possible harm to people can also increase. So my position is there's too many people forming their opinion with lack of information. People are begging for information. They don't have the information. So they form an opinion based on the information that they don't have, based on their lack of information. And then when the truth does come out, they could be so upset, they go and do something that provokes someone. Let's say, for an example, that you're a person, you're angry about a protest, and you decide to go down the street all huffy and puffy and pissed off, and you run into me who's had a bad day already. You know, my wife's pissed off at me, my dog's died, you know, all kind of stuff. And the last thing in the world I'm mentally capable of is accommodating someone who is lashing out at anybody that comes along. That's the kind of situation that you can get into. Let's just take this particular example. The person who was smashing glass. You don't know who that person was. You don't know which side they were on. You don't know if they were male or female. You don't even really know that they got a gun. The gentleman mentioned he's got a gun or he had a gun. That doesn't mean he saw the gun. That means he maybe made a threatening gesture and he thought maybe he had a gun. So what I plead with people for is to have enough control that if you don't have your opinion formed on all the information, or if you have your opinion formed on lack of information, be prepared to control your actions. Be man enough, be woman enough to say, you know what, I thought the mayor was going to be addressing this particular policy and this particular event. Come to find out, the mayor's addressing a whole different event. And, you know, there'll be people that blame the mayor for, oh, you shifted the event because you were talking about the actual shooting in the front yard. Now you're talking about a false statement. Mayor, what are you doing? You know, it can go crazy. So I just wanted to mention that. Too much conjecture. And that leads to a lot of misinformation, hurt feelings, anxiety. And I want to say this. I was here in Decatur during Tommy Lee Hines case. I heard mainly from some friends of mine who were black at the time about Tommy Lee Hines and their side of the story. I didn't hear that much about the actual court or the prosecutor side of the story. But having seen this particular case now, going back and realizing how much conjecture there can be in a case, I just have to beg people to take a moment, try to decide whether or not you have formed your opinion on lack of information. And if you have, be prepared to hear something contrary to what you may be anticipating. There's already been a case where Ray King, he was a man who got shot by the sheriffs of Limestone County. The prosecutor in Limestone County determined that they were not guilty of a crime because they were basically fearing for their life at the time and fighting in self-defense or firing in self-defense. That could be the case in this one. And the policy that the chief is referring to could be a complete different policy than use of deadly force. So that's my point. That point was so important that the Lord, 2 times last night, he woke me up and brought that to my mind to the point I started assembling the video in the middle of the night last night. And then the last time he woke me up is basically I woke from a dream, and which he was showing me, Byron, it's your responsibility to deliver this message. So I've delivered the message, and there's probably plenty of different ways I could have worded it, trying to make it as accurate and as accommodating as possible. So thank you.